Hello YouTube, today I wanted to show everyone how to trade for any player in franchise mode of MLB the Show 24 or any previous version of MLB the Show that I can remember. So I'm just using any roster, the live roster that doesn't seem that updated, but the game just came out yesterday. So I'm going to start a new franchise mode with the current rosters, and the Pirates are my team, so I'll just breeze through this real quick. I like to do this as well. Yeah, this is a new feature that I haven't really messed with yet, but doesn't seem that important. Okay, so the first thing that is important is you need to be in spring training of your franchise mode. So, like I said, you can use any roster for this, but the one important thing is that each team's 40-man roster is full. That's part of how you can trade for any player and get the players that you traded away back. So, for instance, let's just take a look. The top prospect in the list this year is Jackson Holliday. Of course, he'll probably be a star, and I will probably hate him for his whole career, but that's besides the point. So, if I wanted to trade for Jackson Holliday, he's got a pretty high value, so O'Neal Cruz should be a good player for a long time. I'll add him in the mix. Still not enough. Let's go with, not even going to try to say his name, but his brother's a receiver in the NFL now for the Seahawks. And we'll see if we can get away with one more. Not enough. A little bit too much. Alright, perfect. Okay, so the important thing about the players I'm trading away is that they are on the 40-man roster. My 40-man roster. And, yeah, see under their contract information, it says they are all yes to the 40-man roster, and Jackson Holliday is not. Now, you can trade for players that are on the other team's 40-man roster, but they're going to keep one player that you trade away. So anyway, they're going to accept this trade as soon as I send it through. Sounds like a good deal. And then, if you go forward a day, you look in the transactions menu, completed, you'll see that the 3 players that I traded away were designated for assignment, and if their 93-man roster is also full, they will immediately place them on outright assignment waivers. So, if you go to the transactions menu again, go to pending, you can just go and place a claim on all the players that you've traded away. 1, 2, and 3. And they'll be on waivers for 2 days, and then normally in real life, they'd go down the waiver claims list and somebody would put in a claim for them, I'm sure. But since everybody's 40-man roster is full and 93-man roster is full and it's a video game, you can go forward a day, one more day. My lineups aren't full, but you will be the only person that put in a claim for the players that you traded away. So O'Neal Cruz back, Smith and Jigba back, and the new shortstop from somewhere in Asia is back as well. So now on my team, I have Jackson Holliday, I have O'Neal Cruz, and the other 2 players that I traded away, and it didn't cost me a thing. So you can work that several different ways, like if you need a player that your team doesn't have enough trade value to trade for, you could trade for Jackson Holliday, and then say I wanted, let's go with Adley Rutschman. Not enough value with Jackson Holliday for Adley Rutschman, but now I have more good players to trade away. I don't even know if I'll be able to do this with the players I have. Oh, okay, more than enough. Alright, so I could do a trade like this. Sawinski's probably too much. I could throw in somebody else. I could do Smith and Jigba again. Like I said, they're all on the 40-man roster. But actually, what else I can show you is if you are trading for a player on the 40-man roster, if you trade away a pitcher from your 40-man roster, they will always keep that player first. They always prioritize keeping that player first. So, if I trade away a pitcher on my 40-man roster that they like enough to accept the deal, anyway, that trade will go through a couple days. And in the pending transactions, completed transactions, you'll see that Andy Rodriguez was designated for assignment, and if I were to simulate a few days into the future, I could just go back and claim him again. No one else will claim him, and then he'll be back on my roster. And if I wanted Jackson Holiday back, I could just do the first thing I showed you and just trade 3 players. I could do the same exact 3 players this time, and then I have him back on my roster too. So as you can imagine, you can get any player you want. You just keep stacking value. If anybody has any questions in the comments, I can show you how to trade for any player you want. Might take some practice, but just a few minutes. Real quick, I can show you my team. This is the last franchise I was playing, and as you can see, my team's pretty stacked. Evan Carter had a strong rookie showing, one of the top prospects in baseball, still playing the Pirates again. Kept Reynolds, Cruz, Julio Rodriguez, Tristan Casas, because I wanted a cheap first baseman that I'm hoping will develop. Ozzie Albies, Adley Rutschman, Bobby Witt, Brian Hayes is still on the team for his Gold Glove defense. My rotation is Spencer Strider, Jacob deGrom, Yuri Perez, young stud in the game. I was a little surprised to see his rating so high, being that he's only 20, but pretty good debut season as well. Shane McClanahan coming back from injury, and Mitch Keller. So, yep, if you just keep simulating through the days, keep getting your players back. I like to do a few trades at the same time, then I can just get my players back, trim my roster. Yeah, you can get any player you want as long as you're in franchise mode and spring training. Like I said, if you have any specific questions about any specific players, any specific teams, I'm sure there's a way you can figure out how to get that player on your team or get multiple players on your team. Budgets are kind of a pain in the butt, especially for teams like the Pirates. I can show you how to maneuver that a little bit, depending on when you claim your players or if you claim your expensive players. But yeah, if there's more interest, I will make more videos. So that should cover it for today. Thank you for listening.